Is ingeskakel op die groot ontbyt en dienslewering is iets wat talle Suid-Afrikaners met hulle hande in hulle hare laat. Dit dra ook by tot verskeie gewelddadige optogte landwyd en ons gesels vanoggend met professor Barwa Kanyane. Hy is hoofnavorser by die Human Science Research Council om vir ons te vertel wat die huidige stand van sake behels. Good morning, Professor Kanyane, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, and also the viewers.
So what are some of your main concerns regarding service delivery in the country?
Yeah, the main concern about service delivery, as you know, this is a constitutional right. And as a result, the people has been waiting patiently. But I think it comes to a point where when service delivery is not happening, I'm talking about the issues of water, basics, electricity, education, all of this. But I think the standard in general is not meeting the expectations of the society. A lot of money has been invested in the municipalities, but we are still talking capacity, constraints, capacity issues. And until when should this progressive realization of the rights be addressed? It's a cause for concern.
With that in mind, it seems like there's a general perception that things usually need to get out of hand before anyone pays attention. In example, violent protests, for instance. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'll agree because now the discourse has shifted to that direction. It's unfortunate, actually, because it is expected, of the government, the municipalities to up their game and be responsive, to the needs and demands of the society. But when the communities have been, voicing their concern through proper channels in the ward committees and also raising this concern directly to the ward councillors, but if they are not heard, so the theory of frustration, aggression, begin to raise the high temperatures, and then people take the law into their hands, unfortunately.
I just want to say something. I always like to think myself in a situation, into a position of someone else. We're going 25 years since democracy and close to 30 years. And it's actually amazing. I would have started throwing stones after 10 years if nothing changed. And it's actually amazing that people, in over 20 years, it feels not under control. If you look at Kimberley and Hermanus, and it's all over, Gauteng, every day somewhere else. But it took a long time. It's actually amazing that people didn't start getting more aggressive after 10 years. Why did you think people waited like 20 years? You're just used to poverty.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that they are used to poverty. I think we should appreciate the South Africans, their level of patience. And tolerance, and also coming from the past, which was very terrible for them. The hopes, the post-1994 were promising. And as a result, 10 years down the road, the government keep on saying, we're addressing these issues. There's a policy discourse, a policy development. And then in the second era, then they talk about service delivery. So we are in the era of service delivery. We're in the era where the government need to turn around the situation and make the impact in the society. And uncompromisingly, this is not going to be accepted to wait yet another decade. So we are in the era of that service delivery. And the patience, I think, it has gone out of
time.
hand.
It's gone out of hand.
It's interesting, sorry, to see on the social media as well. We asked the people, what is your biggest frustration when it comes to service delivery? And I see a lot of people saying the frustration of no immediate reaction from, for instance, a municipality or your service provider. What do you think is the road that needs to be taken to eventually rule out that impatience, that unimmediate reaction?
Yeah, I think we have the research that has been conducted, and from time to time, we have the municipal monitor, that give you the indication of hotspot areas and so on and so on. And I think that we are not necessarily saying that we have lost the radar screen, because it is showing everywhere. So I think the immediate reaction from the government, especially the municipality, is very critical. We have seen just recently here in the east of Pretoria, when the whole power station was banned. But from time to time, we've been receiving regular, updates, and that's what I think is needed. Because if we didn't get those regular updates, I think we should have taken the service delivered on the street. But I think we have other municipalities which I think they are doing well. We should underscore that. So I think we need to all bring them together to make sure that they have immediate responses. If they cannot do immediate response, at least updates of where they are, how they are resolving issues. I think in humanity is normal that people can able to take a rest on these protests.
Correct. Ek sien ook hy nou van Sal op Twitter het gesê ook kommunikasie is sy grootste frustrasie met dienslewering, en daar is 'n voorbeeld. Die oomblik as die munisipaliteit dadelik kommunikeer, is almal rustiger.
Ons sluit af met vanoggend se gesprek oor dienslewering, wat waarskynlik beskryf kan word as 'n groot kopseer hier in Suid-Afrika. En ons gesels met professor Barwa Kanyane, hy is die hoofnavorser van die Human Science Research Council. Professor Kanyane, let's just talk about the importance of human rights when taking service delivery in consideration.
Yeah, like as I said before, the human rights is the core of the lives of the people. You talk about dignity, you talk about respect, you talk about issues of education, health and sanitation, water. These are, matters of critical importance that every people need to receive, not at a minimum level, but at a level that is acceptable to restore the dignity of the people in the country.
And which provinces experience the biggest challenges?
The indicators of the research that we conduct, and as well as the Auditor General South Africa and the State SA, tells you that the critical provinces which have these hotspots areas, you talk about the Eastern Cape province, you talk about Gauteng, and more importantly now, Northwest, where the province is under administration.
If we say it like it is, who should take responsibility, and what is the first step that should be taken?
Let me put it this way, that the people, they don't want goal shifting. They don't want to be told, this is municipality, this is the province. I'm just saying, the government, the state, need to take the responsibility. Within their hierarchies, of course, you talk about the municipal council, that need to take that responsibility. But if they are failing, I think the issues of consequence management, consequences need to be enforced so that the wheels of service delivery can turn.
And how would you motivate South Africans?
Motivation to South Africa is that it's not dark and gloom. Of course, comparing ourselves with other countries, especially the SADC, region, I think South Africa is doing better despite the challenges that we're exposed to. My encouragement is that we should keep the state on check and and demand accountability. You know, society, we're in a society which is, we have an active citizenry. You should not be taken for granted. So they should keep on knocking at the doors until the doors open, the doors of service delivery. The service delivery landscape will turn. And as it turns, one day we'll be able to celebrate the victory of the Constitution, which have guaranteed those rights.
There's one of our viewers says, Werner Olivier, that he says it's the wrong people in management and there's, for him, zero leadership. Is that a problem?
We have done some studies. I'll agree, partially, it's not necessarily zero leadership, but there are some good people there in the municipalities. But the institutional capacity in the municipalities is critical, and we admit that. And when we talk about the skill capacity, placing people in the right places is very. So I'm just talking about the whole turnaround of the municipalities to make sure that we have the right people in the right place so that they can shift the landscape. But if we don't have that, I think we're going to be stuck for some time with this service delivery problem.
Sure.
Maybe just in short, do you think that the protests are effective?
Protests have made people to wake up, but it's a last resort mechanism, But people, like as I said, they keep on knocking, they use different mechanisms and so on. And they've seen it working because when they press those buttons, then the government respond, start waking up. But unfortunately, this is not the way to go because protest goes with damages of property, goes with violence, and the cost of these protests is very unfortunate because the very same money could have been used for something else. It is not only monetary but also socio-psychological issues. I mean, when children are denied their right to education, when the schools has been banned, libraries has been banned, to restore that, it takes time.
Yes.
And that is socio-psychological consequences that comes through.
Thank you. Dit was dan professor Barwa Kanyane van die Human Science Research Council.